Hello friends, this is Raman Gill with your weekly Forex market analysis for the week of April the 10th. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. If you have questions about your individual investing needs, I suggest you talk to your investment advisor. We'll start by taking a look at the economic data that's coming out this week. Then we'll get into the commitment of traders data and understand how the bigger players are positioned. And finally, we will take a look at our charts to understand some of the levels that we'll be looking at for this week. For the data that's coming out this week for Euro, we have final CPI and core CPI numbers. Central banks pay a lot of attention to the inflation data as it is part of their mandate to manage inflation, and these numbers drive the monetary policy as well. So be mindful of this data when it comes out. For US dollar, we have a Fed announcement on Monday, and then during the week, we also have retail and core retail sales, PPI data, CPI and core CPI, again, the inflation numbers, and also the preliminary UOM consumer sentiment numbers. For the British pound, again, we have the inflation data, the CPI numbers, then we have monetary policy summary and also the official bank rate. This is usually a market moving event anytime there's interest rate decisions, even though we're not expecting to see any change in interest rate. However, from the monetary policy standpoint, there is usually a movement or volatility in the markets when this statement comes out, so be mindful of that. For the Australian dollar, we have RBA Financial Stability Review. Again, market will be paying attention to this, so keep an eye out for this. We also have the employment data and also the business and consumer sentiment data for the Australian dollar. This week, we also have the Chinese trade balance, GDP and industrial production numbers. For the Canadian dollar, we have Bank of Canada Monetary Policy Report, the Bank of Canada rate statement, and overnight rate. So again, anytime there are interest rate decisions, even though we're not expecting to see any change in the interest rate, the market will still be looking for guidance from the central bank. Now let's take a look at our commitment of traders data. So starting things off with Euro US dollar here, we have seen a further decrease in the short positions for the euro. If you take a look at this green line here on the chart, it has been sloping up. The short positions have decreased to 54,000 from 63,000 last week. So this would be bullish for the euro. For the British pound here, we see, again, a decrease in short positions. So the green line here, it's sloping up. We went from 51,463 short positions to 40,911 short positions. So there's a decrease in short position, which is bullish for the British pound. Taking a look at the Canadian commitment of traders data here, we see the dealer positions have actually crossed into the negative area already. Asset manager positions, the red line, has crossed over into the positive area, as well as this green line, which is leverage funds, is also sloping towards the zero position, towards the zero level. So this is very bullish for the Canadian dollar, which means dollar CAD would be bearish. Taking a look at Australian data here, we had already seen a cross over the zero line here. So this was very bullish for Australian dollars. And this week as well, we see an increase in the leverage money longs here. So this is bullish for Australian dollar. However, we do see the asset managers have actually decreased their long positions slightly, and which would for this week make Australian dollar neutral. For the New Zealand dollar here, we see again the zero line, the green line has crossed over the zero mark here, which is positive for the New Zealand dollar. And we also see the red line, which is the asset manager. These are the pension funds. They're sloping up as well. This suggests bullishness for the New Zealand dollar. Now let's move on to the charts. Taking a look at the Euro US dollar weekly chart here, last week Euro was in this range. It is holding above this previous swing high. However, it hasn't really moved anywhere. It has stayed in this very, very tight range. So this week we'll see where we see the euro go. For now, this is range bound. If it comes into this upper level 1437 to 50 area, this would be a potential sell opportunity. And at the bottom here, 1340 or 1330 area would be a potential opportunity to buy the euro, looking for it to move towards back into this range. Now we are looking for the range to break. If the price does close below this 1330 level, we'd be looking for a move back into this 1200 level potentially, or 1220. However, if the price breaks up out of the range above this 1450 level, then we are looking at a price move into this 1500 level. And if it does break this 1500 level, we could see the price go up and test the next high, which is at 17.1700. So that's the next level. However, we do need to see which way the price comes out of this range. For now, it's really been holding this range, and we need to see a close either below the range to see a move to the downside, or a close above the range for the test of the next high, which is the 1500, and a close below 1500 for a potential move into this 1700 area. For the British pound, we saw weekly close was it was a kind of neutral here. We saw the price move to the bottom here, bottom of the range at 140.50. However, the price did get rejected there, and then it got pushed up. So for the daily candle here, we saw this rejection. We saw for 3 days price tried to break below this 140.50 area. However, it did not manage to hold there. So now we are looking at we have this resistance here at 141.70. If the price closes above 141.70, then we are looking for a price back into, or a move back into this level, potentially into 144. However, if the price does manage to close below this 140.50, we could see a move further down into potentially back into this 138.50 area. So now we need to see where the price goes. If it holds above 141.70, we're looking for a move up. However, if it closes below 140.50, we're looking for a move to the downside into the next level here. For the Australian US dollar, again, we are in this range here. For the weekly candle, we were not able to break the high or the low, so it was a range-bound trading for the week. For the daily close, we did see a push-up high and a rejection, and now the price is got rejected at the bottom of this range here for 74.90 area. Now the question is whether we'd be able to break below this. If we do manage to close below 74.90, we could potentially see a move back into here. Some of this move could get taken out. We saw a bit of an inefficient move to the upside here, and then it became more efficient. So this level could get taken out then, or the price could start moving towards this level and then into the bottom here. So this becomes open if the price does close below 74.90. Right now looks like it does want to move down. So if the price closes below 74.90, we're looking for a price move to potentially into 72.60 area. However, if it bounces off of here again, if it does not close below, then we are looking for price to move back into this 76.50 and then potentially into 77.20 area. For the New Zealand US dollar, the weekly, again, it was a bit of a range. Here we have for multiple days the price just stayed within this range. For the daily candle, we did see a bullish close. However, the price got rejected at this 67.50 level. If the price manages to close below the 67.50 level, again, we're looking for the next level here, which would be 66.70 level, and then potentially back into 65.70 level. So again, we need to see how the price closes the day. If the price is able to close to the downside, we would be looking for a potential move down to the 65.70 area. However, if the price manages to close above 68.70 here, we are looking for move into 69.70 area up here. So a close out of this range, close below the range, we'll be looking for a move to the downside. Close above the range at 68.70 area, we're looking for a move to the upside. Dollar CAD here, we saw a nice rejection. It is in for the last few weeks, it's been sitting in this large range here. However, the close was very nice. There was nice rejection to the upside and a bearish close, but we do have this support level here at 128.50. We would potentially see a move back into this level. So twice this level got rejected. It is important support and resistance area here. So if the price does not manage to close below 128.50, we are again looking for a move to the upside, potentially back into this 132.80 area. However, if the price does close below 128.50, we are looking for a move to the bottom here to 125.68 area. So we are again looking for price to get out, break out of this range. A close below the range, below 28.50, would suggest a potential move to the downside, and a close above 32.80 would open this up for the move to the upside. So we'll be watching how the prices close here. So that's all I have for today. I will see you next week. Have a great trading week.